Hi, welcome to video series on operating system. In previous video, we are discussing about the introduction or basic things about the Kotlin. In this video, we are shortly discussing about the data types, variables, and control structures of the Kotlin. And after that, we are by using the variables, control structures, and buttons. Some of the buttons by using it, we can make the some apps. Here in this video, we are going to discuss about those things. The basic in this video now I am explaining about the data types, and data types are numbers, integers, numbers, characters, strings, and booleans, etc. In this video, numbers or integer types are byte and short, int and long. Here you can see the byte ranges, short ranges, and examples, and int ranges also. And here are the whole numbers between in these ranges. Here you can discuss about the examples of. And here the floating data types and examples of floating data types are two types. One is double and float. Here you can see how we are declaring about the double and float. But by default, if when we are define about the floats, we have to mention f to the initialization at the time of initialization. And booleans, boolean is like true or false. When the condition is false, output is true, and when the condition is true, output is false. You can see boolean equal to false equal to true. The only possible values of boolean data types are true or false. The main application of boolean values in the condition is testing, which is covered in greater details in the later chapter. And next thing is characters and strings. Or you know that for the characters we are defining in the single quotes, and for the strings we are defining in the double quotes. And it is like it can be stored using the character data types. Single data type mark A or C must around the char value, and strings is stored in the string data type double quotes by enclosing the string values. And next thing is variables. You can see that val and var. Val means permanent box, var means changeable box. For a variable whose value is constant, use val. For constant values, we have to use val. And for if we value is not change, if we I want to change the value, or if value is not constant, we can use the var. Because of that, by using the var, we can change the value easily. You can see the syntax or example, and here you can see the example of the var and val. Next thing is nullable and non-nullable. Kotlin has the ability to specify a type of with making it nullable so that variable can store null values. All variables in Kotlin are treated as a non-nullable by default, which means they cannot have null values. By doing these runtime errors put on null values. Here we can see the nullable example and non-nullable example data types. And here is control structures. You can see the control structures in Kotlin are if else, when, for loop, and two more are while loop and do while loop. Here I'm just discussing about the Kotlin if else statement, just like syntax and examples of that control structures. So you can see the differences between the when and while loop. For while loop, we are just using like unconditional statements. If we don't know the iterations, we just using the while loop and do while. And while loop item to collections. Here you can see the examples of that. You can see the examples of. I just made some of the After that I just made some of the apps. For your understanding, in the tab I'm just using composable and preview functions. Here slightly I am discussing about the composable and preview functions. Composable function is a special function in Jetpack Compose. Kotlin modern toolkit for building native Android US. It marked with a it composable annotation and it is used to define UI components in a declarative way. These functions describe how the UI should look the behave based on the app statement preview. Preview annotation in Jetpack Compose is used to preview composable functions inside Android Studios without having to run the app on a device or emulator. It helps the developer quickly visualize how to UI will help. And next videos we are discussing about the dice roller app and tip calculator and artspace app. Thank you.